Welcome to Pro Power Hour. My name's Chris Weldon, one of the community managers with Housecall Pro. Pros, it's really good to see you. Hopefully we have some folks join us today. If you're here, let us know. Say hi, hello, where you're tuning in from. Today we're going to be talking about Marketing Center. I'll talk a little bit about the campaigns and a little bit about our tasks feature. If you're new with us and you're seeing this for the first time, like I said, this is Pro Power Hour. This is a weekly event we do every single Thursday at 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, where we really do a feature focus. We take a feature every single week, sometimes two features like today. We talk a little bit about them in depth, how you can use them, give you some best practices, some tips. It's really good if you're an older pro, it gives you a refresher. Maybe there's some features you haven't used in a while. And if you're a new pro, this is perfect to attend every week just as you explore Housecall Pro a little bit more. You might notice I have an onboarding specialist with me. Phil is here. We've had some of our other onboarding specialists on in the past, so you might recognize some faces. I also hope if you didn't get to attend our webinar yesterday, we had our July release moment webinar, our mid-year update, as we called it. Really good webinar to go back and watch as well, whether you're a new or old pro. We talked all about the features that have been released this year and some of the stuff that's to come. So that recording is available. It's right up in the featured section at the top. But yeah, I'm excited to get into it today. Phil, I'm going to give it over to you, let you introduce yourself again, and then we can get going.
All right, sounds good. So yeah, hello everybody again. My name's Phil. I'm one of the onboarding specialists over here. If you've hopped on the Max or the Max Plus plan, you've probably talked to myself or one of my teammates. And we also handle a lot of the support calls. So you probably see me around if outside of these calls or outside of this power hour. But yeah, today we have the Marketing Center. A lot of people have been asking for more marketing features within our program. And so we have delivered a special feature here for you. And as well as tasks, some of you who have been using the program before are somewhat familiar with tasks. They've been around for a long time. But now we've gone ahead and made it a little bit more functional. And a lot easier to use. So really excited to show you guys everything that we've got going on here. So, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and just share my screen. As soon as that stops doing that, let's go ahead. So, starting off as usual, we'll just kind of run through a little slide deck here, just kind of introducing the feature, what it does, talk a little bit about it. So, as we go into it, we'll talk starting with the marketing center. So before, really the only marketing we had was our email automations and our postcards that you can find in your app section. Well, now when you go to your account settings, there's going to be a spot for the marketing center. And also at the top, when you get the feature, you will see it somewhere next to your price book and the My Money section. There's going to be an option for marketing. We'll see that a little bit later in the demo. But really, for the marketing center campaigns, it's all-in-one tool so that we can send out blast emails, we can send out blast text messages, and we can kind of start to set up a like a campaign flow, very similar to anybody that is using the VoIP feature or any of the phone features that we offer, how you make your call flows. It's very similar here in the marketing feature, and we will see that in a moment. So again, available within the campaigns. As I mentioned, there's text messaging, one-time blasts, email one-time blasts, the campaign flows, and some of the extra features, setting up those campaigns, setting up campaign flows. There's also a feature for SMS consent so that we don't bother our customers that don't want to receive emails. They have to consent into receiving the text messages from you. And there's a little bit of online booking integration. So moving over from the campaigns, the marketing campaigns, we'll scoot over into tasks. So with the tasks, again, these were very similar to the checklists in a way that we can assign tasks to our team, to our technicians. We can even assign it to people in the office, just giving them tasks to do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. So it's always been a core feature for us. And again, as I said, that we are going ahead and revamping and improving it. And really the value behind it is being able to manage all of your tasks in one location instead of having to be searching around for where these tasks are and where they live. And some key features, which we will point out as we go through the demo. is one, just now there's this whole dedicated page where you can filter and go through all of your tasks, see the ones that are completed, which ones haven't been completed, who they're assigned to, and which customer that they involve. Kind of put all of those together in one sentence, but we'll talk about the search bar. You'll see that yourself, where we can go ahead and search through tasks. Filtering, as I mentioned, we can filter through all of our tasks through different filters, very similar to how we work with our reporting. The task management, so again, we're able to assign tasks to ourselves. We can also assign tasks to the rest of the team. And what's also been a great improvement is that there are email reminders. One of the questions that I saw was posted is that people want to get more reminders. I believe that this is something that we're going to continue to improve, but currently at this time, you do receive email reminders. Speaking on those plans, as you can see kind of here in the little highlighted section here is that there are currently no plans for putting tasks to time tracking or putting them on the calendar, but Chris and all of us over here are open to your feedback and would love to hear any constructive criticism, constructive feedback, anything that we can do to make this product better for you all. So just wanted to show here's an example of what the tasks are going to look like when they come through in an email. Just because the way that my account is set up, I haven't really received one of these in a long time, but this is how it essentially is going to look. You will receive the email and it'll tell you how many tasks are due that particular day, and you'll be able to go through these and go into your account, into your profile, and go ahead and check off the ones when you completed them. So let's go ahead and dive into the demo. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the marketing side, just because that's kind of the biggest portion of today's session. So first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through just kind of this walkthrough that my team and maybe some of you have done in the past, just kind of learning the product, just so that we make sure we touch on everything before we dive into my account. So as you can see, we're going to skip this part because we're going to talk about it later. But on this particular form, we'll see in the marketing campaigns page is all of our campaigns. And again, this will look a little bit cleaner when we go over to my account, but really just pointing out the simplicity of it. So we can go ahead and start a new campaign from this page. And we are given 3 different options: the SMS one-time message, the email one-time message, or we can set up our campaign flows, similar to how we set up our call flows with VoIP, as I mentioned earlier. So when we select which option, this time we did the campaign flows. So as you can see, it gives you over here a little bit of a template. Now we will see in my account that we've improved this to not just only have job completed. Now we have job completed, estimate's been canceled, and Chris, I'm blanking. What was the third one again?
It's job completed, estimate cancel. What is the third one?
Or we can find it easy.
I go back.
Yeah. So it's estimate declined and job satisfaction. So again, we will touch on this when we move over to my account. So again, we give you some templates, or you do have the option to build your own from scratch. So this doesn't really give a great picture of it, but we will see how that's going to flow over to the next one. You know what? We may as well just kind of hop right into it. But really the main thing I wanted to show over here is that for the text messaging campaigns, it's very similar to the emails, but we're going to have a list view here of our text messaging campaigns. And you will see when I go ahead and build one, how that's really going to look. So let's scoot over to my account just because that page is starting to look a little funky. Let's go ahead and we'll just use this template. Let's back out of here and start from scratch. So again, here's the marketing center page. Here's all the campaigns that I have created. We can see that my email campaign has been sent off. And we can always go into any one of these options to look at, in this case, a particular call flow. There's the 3 options that I mentioned: job satisfaction, job completed, or estimate declined for those templates. And you can always switch through them. And as you see, as I click each particular one, the call flow over down here goes ahead and changes to that particular template. or there's always that option to just build your own. Okay, so if we're going to start a new campaign, again, here's the screen here. If we're going to do a custom text message, if we select that option, we'll see here that my account doesn't really have the text messaging set up just because as we've had to verify the businesses for legit numbers, that's why mine isn't a legit business. But as you can see here, we can go ahead and start creating what that text message is going to look like and have a preview of what that text message is going to look like when it goes out to your customers. We do give you a couple of templates that are already created. So one of them is a special offer. Another one is a maintenance reminder, thank you text message, or there's a couple of other options that are already there for you. So within these text messages, as you can see over here, it allows us to go ahead and put in what that text message is going to say. Now, similar to as we've used our normal text messaging feature, you can add the variables so that way it actually pulls from your customer list. So instead of saying, hey, sign up for our program, get 10% off the next time, it's going to say, hey, Joe Smith, don't forget to sign up for our membership program, receive 10% off. So you can put in those variables so that you can personalize these text messages. And we'll also see how this works with the emails as well. For the text messaging, there is a way to keep track of the consent. So as you can see here back at our marketing campaigns, there is the SMS consent button. And when you click on it, as your customers start to approve that they will allow you to receive text messages from you, they will go ahead and be checked off on this list. So all of these customers on my list here have not given me their consent, but what I can do is I can select, let's say these 3 customers right here. Maybe I talked to them on the phone or I talked to them in person and they said, yeah, go ahead and send me marketing emails, send me marketing text messages. When we hit next, there is this particular window that pops up. That's basically letting you know that, hey, you said that these customers are okay with receiving text messages. That way we kind of don't get into some bad habits or having difficult conversations that we may have with these customers. There is this consent guide, so you can always go further into this. So if you have questions about text messaging consent, this will open up the guide here. And there's also places within our help center that answer questions regarding text messaging consent. So another option we have is the email one-time blast. So some of you that have worked with MailChimp in the past, some of you may have already integrated MailChimp into your Housecall Pro system. Basically, we wanted to be our one-stop shop. So if you have MailChimp, and if maybe it's not working out for you, this could be another option for you, and just keep everything in one essential hub. So as we can see here, very similar to the text messaging, there are a couple of templates that are already created. So like the special offer, here's 10% on your next service. And as you can see, there's customer first name and customer name. So we can add additional variables if we need to. And there's also buttons that we can add. So sign up for texts or a book now button. You do have the ability to customize the emails and the text messages, so you don't have to stick with what's available in the templates. You can use those maybe as a starter and then create your own. And as you can see over here, it gives us an example of what that email is going to look like. And as most people usually look for these through their emails is an unsubscribe option. So if you do blast out emails to your customers, they can always unsubscribe. And then that way they're no longer receiving any of those emails from you. But all right, so now that we've gone ahead and set up that we're going to do this email campaign, we can go ahead and hit next. Very similar to how we were doing it with the text messaging, same functionality. Now, a question that we got from most of you is how do I send this off to all of my customers? Well, we kind of put some guardrails in place so that we're not just spamming everybody in our client list. We want to target specific customers. So we have to go ahead and create a customer list. So here's our target customers. I'm going to go ahead and say create a new list. And we can call this, new test list. Now down below, we can go ahead and add some conditions. So some of them include customer tag, location, lead source, lifetime value, creation of that customer date, and the last time we serviced that customer. So if we're going to go ahead and say customer tag, very similar to what we saw on my screen earlier, I had one for a military option, but we're going to go ahead and say that the customer has to have the customer tag, and that tag is going to be, these are all my tags, let's say friends and family. We can add more tags, so as many as we need. So maybe, friends and family, military, and maybe my service agreement customers. You can add additional conditions. So if you want to include more outside of that customer tag, you can continue to add as many conditions as you want to target more of your customers. But in this example, let's just go ahead and use what's available right here with the customer tag. So we're going to go ahead and hit save and preview. Let's get rid of this one. Well, I don't really have too many customers in there. So we can go ahead and edit our list, and let's maybe change this to, let's say maybe creation date within the last 90 days. Let's see if I have any customers there. There we go. So these are the customers that pulled up that met that criteria. So these are the people that are going to fall onto this list. So I can go ahead and hit send campaign now. It's always going to be a two-factor authentication to make sure that we really do want to send these out. So let me get my text message here and say that we are going to send them out. That's okay. So here's the message. We will send out the one-time campaign, which is available for the 2 customers. So we will go ahead and send it out. And now when we look at our marketing center here, we can see that the campaign is being sent or is sending, and we can already see the one that I sent earlier today has been sent. So moving on, just to show is for the campaign flows, very similar to how we set up with the old email automations, and similar to also how we set up our call flows. We already talked about the different templates here, so let's maybe just build one from scratch. So the first action to start the campaign is that a job is going to be completed. So with doing that, I can say, all right, job's completed. Let's go ahead and send an email. Let's go ahead and say, thank you for putting your trust in us. That's essentially the thank you email that's going to go out. So then for my next step over here, I'm going to say add an SMS number. I don't really have the text messaging, so it's not a great example there, but let's say we'll add another email. And this time we'll do special offer. So that way we can go ahead and have our thank you email go out first, and then we can have our thank you for joining. Thank you for, I'm sorry. Thank you, the thank you email, and then the sign up email. And then that campaign will end. Now, some other things that you can do, I would recommend mostly for the using the templates. As you can see within, let's say this job completed template is that you can go ahead and set up a delay. So we have here that the job is completed. We're going to wait a delay of 1 month. You can always make any changes to day or week. So 1 month after the job is completed, that's when we're going to go ahead and send out a text message, or you can have it send out an email. Then you can set up another delay so that you can start to set up these drip campaigns. So we had 1 month go by, one email goes out, 5 months after that next email goes out, another email is going to go out, and then that will be the end of your campaign. So with our earlier email automations, those are continuous, and it's more manual to switch those campaigns on and off. This allows us to basically create that one time, and we don't have to worry about it going out, continuing to go out. And I pretty much think that's really all there is to it. When you look at the Marketing Center page here, you can, as I mentioned, go through all of your campaign flows. You can duplicate a campaign, rename it, delete the draft, or delete the campaign, and always start a fresh one from here as well. So before I move over into tasks, any questions, Chris?
I don't see any questions right now, and I know Sonia's with us. I know Franklin's here. I see your guys' comments, but no questions right now.
Okay. Then I will scoot on over to the tasks. So for tasks, they're going to be up where your little avatar is, picture, initials, whatever you have in the upper right-hand corner, and we can go to tasks. So here's the new task page right here. As we can see, I'm an admin for my company, so I can view all of my tasks, all the tasks, or I can view the tasks that have been assigned to me. And as we mentioned before, there's the search bar here, so we can always search for a particular task or anything that is related to a task that has been created. There is a filter button over here where we can go ahead and filter specific dates to see what tasks have been assigned during that time, which employee we want to look at them and see all of their tasks. We can filter out to see which tasks have been completed and which ones haven't. And then there's also service plan tasks because as we talked about service plans a while ago, you can create tasks for those service plans, and we can also look at those, or we can keep those off of the list as well. So editing the columns, very similar to our reporting. So we can expand or contract the information that we're looking at below on our list. And we also have the option to create a task. So we've done this before. It's very similar. We'll just go ahead and click it, say task name. And we'll give it a date. We'll say it's today. We'll assign it to myself. And what's also really neat is we can also assign a customer to it as well. So we're going to put Mez on here. All right, so now it's been saved. And as we are looking at the form or the page here, as I mentioned, we can keep going down and see all of the tasks that have been assigned. We can even mark them as complete. We can check several of them off to mark them all as completed or delete them all in bulk. And we can edit the tasks one by one. So for those tasks, as we go over to mine over here, we can see that for mine, here's the ones that have been completed. The button even gives you the little completed button over here. So I'm going to go ahead and shift over to my mobile app. So I'm sure some of you are asking, well, how does this look on the mobile app? And one of the questions we got actually was regarding the mobile app. So I think it's a good thing to share. So all right, so here's my mobile app. For people who are familiar with it, if we are going to look for our tasks, they are going to be in the upper left-hand corner where those lines are with the check mark. So when I click on it, right there, we can see all my tasks, and we can also scoot over to only look at my particular tasks. And also your technicians, people in the field, office staff, they can always hit the plus button in the upper right and create a task for themselves. So once we assign a task, as we see here, we have my callback Mezzi. I go ahead, give her a call. So I'll hit the little button and boom, it's removed. So it's already been completed. We got Luke Skywalker here who needs to approve for this billing. We'll go ahead and say he's done too. So now if we go back to our main screen here, there's the callback Mezzi. Looks like it's been done. And let's even filter to look at Luke. So now if we look at Luke's, there's the approved for billing. So you can go back and forth and make sure that all of the tasks have been completed. So speaking on tasks, because I see I've received a lot of questions that people have submitted. So for adding a new task, looks like Lawrence was asking about having a new task attached to an invoice, an estimate, or customer profile. At this time, they are not specifically on those pages. They are in the two places that I showed you, which is up here where your little avatar is, and you can hit tasks, or it's within the mobile app when you hit the 3 lines with the check mark. Robert was asking about what are these tasks used for. It's kind of explains itself in a sense of like it's any task or anything that you want one of your coworkers or employees to do, and it's similar to the checklist, but checklists are really designed more for the jobs. These tasks are more for just day-to-day stuff, things that you need to get done. Another question we had is notifications about tasks being overdue. So really, at this time, there's not really a notification, but as I mentioned, when you pull up the task center, you are able to go ahead and pull up a date range of when those tasks were assigned. And you can see, like, as I'm looking at this one, I can see here that this is from 2002 or 2022. So this is definitely an overdue task. But I'm sure that there's going to be improvements to where we can start seeing these tasks as notifications. So Jessica was asking about the tasks taking you to a customer profile. So they do within the web portal, but on the mobile app currently at this time, it does not have that functionality. So very similarly, if we go to Mezi, let's see. I think it's just through the customer. Yeah. Does the Marketing Center offer automations for job tags and only customer tags? So at this time, this is a question from Curtis. We cannot filter by job tags. It's only customer tags at this time. And that's not for tasks, that is for the Marketing Center. So just to show what he's talking about is if we scoot over to the Marketing Center, and as we were talking about setting up those campaigns, let's go back to this one. Or let's just build one from scratch. We'll do another special offer. So when we are creating that list of customers, currently it's customer tag only. I think job tags, that's something we can consider, but it's just not available at this time. Looks like Eric has a question regarding setting up the SMS campaigns to have it go right as a job has been completed. So that would fall under the the campaign flow of job completed or job satisfaction. And then from there, that's where you can go ahead and set up your delays. So if we're going to say job is completed and we want that to go as soon as possible, we'll say use this template, and we can have that delay be, instead of a month, we can have it be a day. Now, if you want to just do a quick blast, my recommendation would be either just to directly send that customer a text message from the text messaging center in your inbox, or you can do it based on, I'm sorry, I just had it. I'm sorry, when you have your text messaging and you go to your text messages within your account settings, and you have the 3 boxes. Again, my account doesn't have the text messaging, but you have your 3 boxes in here that says job scheduled, on my way, job completed. You can add that particular deal to go out automatically with the job is finished. So it's another workaround, but I'm sure that there's going to be improvements. Kristen is asking, is there a way to send a text blast to all of her customers? The answer is yes. But as we mentioned, that we do have to create our customer list. So really, that's going to be a little bit of a manual task for you to go ahead and I'm not sure if you want to use it as customer tag, but there are other options that you can use, like, as I mentioned, when customers were created, when jobs were completed, locations regarding zip codes and things like that. Customer list. That also kind of answers Curtis's other question, which is that the customer lists don't seem to auto update. So if you want them to update, again, you have to essentially create your customer list that you want to for your marketing campaign. We're not able to pull everybody at this particular time. How to send the mass consent message to all the contacts. I believe it's that when you go ahead and send off the first marketing campaign, that a message does go out basically asking for consent to receive further text messages, similar to many services that constantly text me all the time, and gives you an option to go ahead and stop that or to opt out of that campaign. Joshua's question, I feel like I also already answered regarding zip codes. So it seems like you're having a little bit of trouble saying that half of your zip codes are showing up and others aren't. That might be something that you might want to get on a support call with myself or one of my teammates. And so that way we can kind of analyze what exactly is going on. Because ideally, once you put in the zip code, if all of your customers have that zip code attached to their profile, they should appear on that list. And then the last question we got here, again, just kind of talking about building out customer lists. So really, Burgess's question here, just to answer it, is that when you create an estimate, a lead, or a job, that customer information is always going to stay within Housecall until you actually delete it. So if you create a new estimate for a new customer and then delete that estimate, that customer is still going to be in your database. So you still have the ability to set up these campaigns to re-engage them with your business. And that's all the prepared questions that I had. So Chris, any other questions?
We did get one other question from Tom, totally unrelated to these features though. Tom, I was just checking into this. He asked if we'll be getting ringless voicemail in the future. I don't believe we have anything on our roadmap right now. I could be wrong. Phil, I don't know if you know anything. I just checked with Lauren. We don't know anything about that right now. We do know that Chirp offers it. If you're interested in Chirp, I can give you the info. It's one of our partners, one of our integrations. A lot of our pros use Chirp in addition to Housecall Pro. But I don't see any other questions, related or unrelated.
Okay, I was going to say one other thing that I could show you all, since we're talking about marketing anyway, for some of you that might be new, is just kind of the old marketing features that we have outside of the marketing campaigns over here. And as I mentioned, they are up in the apps, and you have the email automation. This is a little bit more of kind of the old school route. I'll go into that in a minute, as well as we also have postcards. So with the email automation that we have here, as I mentioned, this is kind of the more old school way of doing it. With the new marketing feature, it's a lot more customizable. So allows you to, again, send out those blasts. What this one really does is allows you to set up email campaigns for before a job starts and after a job is completed. So for before a job starts, it's essentially going to have all of the appointment information on that email. You are more than welcome to add an additional message if you want to. And then all you have to do is set up your rule. So if you want this to go out a day before a job, 3 days, 5 days, a week, a month, whatever. You can also set up some parameters. So even the customers that are not receiving notifications, we can override that to make sure that they do get some of these emails. And there's also, again, we can go by tags. So, if we want all of our first responders to not receive this, or we want to strictly target our first responders, we can certainly do that. And after the job is completed, it's more of a blank canvas. So typically what I mostly see is just kind of the thank you for doing business with us email, and it goes out. Most pros set it to go out, the day after a job. But I've also seen people get very creative with this. And so they'll have that first email or go out saying, thank you for doing business with us. And then they'll create another email that says, again, similar idea, save 10% on your next visit by signing up for our membership program. And they'll have that go out a whole, 3 months after that job has been completed. But I want to mention is that this is going to happen every time a job completes. So that is why with the Marketing Center, we've gone ahead and kind of set up these guardrails so that if you're a cleaning business that services a customer twice a week or bi-weekly, they're not going to be receiving the thank you email or the sign up for a membership program every 3 months after their 2 visits a week. So again, that new Marketing Center gives you a little bit more, set some guardrails. And here it's a little bit more manual. As you can see, my campaigns down here, really I get to make the decision of whether I want to have those campaigns running or not. And then the other side, as I mentioned, is the postcards. Now, these are actual postcards, not online postcards, but you can have a one-time blast or an ongoing campaign. We'll just go into one-time blast, but this is where you can create your own postcard with your own picture, logo, whatever you want it to say, or you have access to all of these templates underneath here. So, here's this little thank you card here. We'll click back, put a little message here that goes onto the back of the postcard over here. Then for this one, for the recipients, it's a little bit easier. We can go ahead and select all of our customers, single out specific customers, or just the same functionality. We can go look by location or tag. So my top 20 customers, those VIPs, they are definitely going to be receiving a card. And when I'm ready, we can go ahead and hit order. They're 99 cents a postcard, and they get sent directly to your customers from the people that print them, so you do not have to pay postage. So wanted to point that out since we're still talking about marketing.
Absolutely. I just dropped our help article. There's a whole collection on this as well. If any pros need more assistance. Looks like Lauren also dropped our help article, just a little bit more information about how to do that before and after jobs with email campaigns specifically. But pros, I don't see any other questions. I'll give you all one more second. I just want to remind everybody that these Pro Power Hours, they all live as recordings. They're all here in the Facebook group. You can go back and watch any of them. I believe this is our 8th session. So we've done 7 other sessions on a handful of different features, a little bit more than 7. We talked a little bit about invoices a few weeks ago, progress invoicing, talked about reporting. We have talked about our VoIP product, which kind of is nice to if you're checking out marketing, I also recommend you check out VoIP. I know they're a little bit different. You might use one or the other, but if you're using both, I recommend. Gosh, what else have we talked about? Multi-day appointments, multi-option approval estimates. I think I'm missing 1 or 2 other things, but all of these live here in the Facebook group. I encourage you to go back and look for them. If you don't know where to find them, or if you're looking for info on a certain feature, let me know, let Lauren know here in the group. We'll either direct you to a Pro Power Hour or we'll help you. And then if you have any suggestions for Pro Power Hour, if there's anything you want us to do in the upcoming weeks, let us know. Open to your feedback. I'm really just picking a topic every single week based on the questions that we're seeing in the group, and then we're tagging you guys here. And yeah, I do see Tom asked one more question. He asked, when you create a campaign and a few clients show up, and a few clients that show up that you don't want to contact, can we just delete them out of the list?
So I believe that you can modify it. Let's go ahead and maybe do a little test here, live test. So if we go to marketing, and again, we'll try to do the best with, I know I'm not a legit business, so we'll see what we can do here, but special offer next, new list, military. So again, with a tag, we can say is back up. That one's been sent. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it as we're going through it, I don't think you can, because it's just simply you choose whether it's you want to send it to them or not. Um, unless I'm wrong. I think that's correct, though. I don't. Let's try last service day. So yeah, that's what I figured. The answer is no, because it's just pulling from those particular tags and pulling from that specific data.
Yeah, he just commented back. I tried, had to create a new tag. Yeah. Possibly in the future, Tom. I see your question here. I'm not sure if that's on the roadmap. It very well could be. This is marketing campaigns are brand new. I know our team's still working on them to expand and just better the experience. So definitely take your feedback in. And if anybody's watching this, if you have feedback as well, perfect opportunity to leave it here too. We'll share it with our product team. And if anybody's catching the recording later, if you have any more questions, drop them in. Lauren and I monitor this thread over the ongoing weeks. So don't be afraid if you're catching this later to drop some questions. We'll make sure to get back to you. I think with that, unless I see a question in the next 5 seconds, yeah, no problem, Tom. Then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Phil, I appreciate it. I don't know what we're gonna be covering next week, but I'll try to announce that at the beginning of the week. If anybody has any suggestions, let me know. And then otherwise, hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Phil.
Bye, all.